Hello everyone and welcome back to Stepmum Space Listener Questions with me, Katie South, where each week I take one of your questions and talk it through here, sharing not only my thoughts but yours as well. As always, everything is anonymised, but the emotional reality behind it is very real. And thank you to those of you who send these in and who share your experiences when I post them. I know many of you don't have stepmom friends in real life, so hearing other women articulate what you're quietly holding can be incredibly validating. Now, this week's question is layered. So Sally says, my fiancé left his long-term unhappy marriage to be with me. At the time, his wife was terminally ill and she died 6 months later. 12 years on, we're getting married. His 28-year-old daughter says she doesn't think she can attend our wedding because she never saw her mum marry her dad. We went to her wedding, we have a 10-year-old together whom she adores, and she says she's happy for him. Happy for him, not us. Perhaps it's grief, perhaps she doesn't want her dad to move on, or perhaps we're being punished forever because we got together while her mum was so ill. Truthfully, I don't feel bothered if she doesn't come. Is that weird? So Sally, thank you so much for the question. I know you were concerned about putting it out there, but you really wanted to get some honest advice. So here we go. First of all, no, it's not weird. And regular listeners will know I don't label feelings as weird. I'm more interested in what they're responding to. And this situation carries history, timing, death, symbolism. Those things don't disappear just because 12 years have passed. Weddings in stepfamilies aren't just parties. They're structural events. They formalise hierarchy. They publicly confirm a chapter. And when there's been a loss in the story, those moments can stir up unresolved grief, even in adults. Now, her wording matters. She says she's happy for him. Not necessarily about the wedding, not necessarily about the marriage itself, but for him. And this suggests that it may be less about rejection to you and more about loyalty on her side. Even adult children can quietly carry loyalty binds, and attending the wedding may feel internally like endorsing a chapter that overlaps painfully with her mum's final months. It might feel like witnessing something her mum never had, and it might simply feel too heavy for her and too difficult. It doesn't mean that she doesn't accept the relationship, and it doesn't mean that she hasn't integrated you into her life. It may just mean that the symbolism of a wedding is too difficult for her. When I shared this question on Instagram, your responses were thoughtful and varied, as always. Some of you said simply, she's 28, she's an adult, let her decide. Others said their stepchildren didn't attend their wedding and that practically it reduced stress on the day. And some suggested that your fiancé sit down with his daughter and really understand what's underneath this. I agree here that if a conversation is needed, it sits between father and daughter. And that's really the key structural point about this. It's not yours to manage, Sally. When stepmums step into emotional mediation between father and adult child, it often destabilises the couple without resolving the grief. The stronger move is to allow that relationship to sit where it belongs between them. Sally, you are the bride. You are not the grief negotiator. He can say he'd love his daughter there. He can listen to her. He can hold space for her. But it shouldn't become pressure. Because trying to persuade someone through unresolved grief often hardens things, and it turns tenderness into a power struggle. Now, let's talk about you not feeling bothered. I actually hear something very healthy in that. You're not scrambling round for approval, you're not hinging your joy on her attendance, and you're not interpreting her hesitation as a verdict on you. There's a real maturity in knowing what is and isn't yours to carry as a stepmom. Sometimes in this situation, stepmums feel pressure to perform sadness, as if being okay with something might look cold. But really, emotional neutrality is not the same as cruelty, and you don't have to shrink your joy to accommodate someone else's complexity. There's something really important here about not escalating this into a loyalty contest. The fact that you attended her wedding does not obligate her attendance at yours. Both events carry different histories and different emotional weight. Her absence, if that's what happens, does not define the relationship unless everyone decides it does. After all, a wedding is only one day, even in a stepfamily. Sally, you're allowed to get married, you're allowed joy, you're allowed celebration, and she is allowed complicated emotions. Those two things can sit side by side. If she comes, that's great. If she doesn't, the relationship continues the next day. And often in stepfamilies, that calmness, the refusal to escalate, is what protects the system long term. So if you're listening to this and recognising yourself, not just in weddings, but in those moments where you're unsure what's yours to carry and what isn't, that's exactly the work we do inside Stepmum Space. If you want deeper, structured support around loyalty binds, family hierarchy, and protecting your couple without escalating conflict, you can join my mailing list via stepmumspace.com or book a 15-minute clarity call to talk through your situation properly. I'll pop all the details in the show notes. And if this episode helped you think differently, please do follow the podcast or leave a rating or review. It genuinely helps other stepmoms find this work. We'll be back next week. Till then, take care.